a ghost of its former glory. The sprawling lawns were untrimmed, the chandelier lights dimmed to save power, and the staff had either left or disappeared silently. Everyone except one. Kelvin Blackwood, once hailed as the youngest billionaire in the country, was now a prisoner in his own home. Headlines screamed betrayal, fraud, and bankruptcy. His company, K Global Investments, had crumbled after an internal sabotage. His most trusted friend and partner ran off with investors' money, leaving Kelvin to face the storm alone. The final blow came when his glamorous fiancée, Michelle, packed her designer bags and walked out. She didn't cry. She didn't even argue. Her exact words were, "I didn't sign up to be poor." Now all that remained was silence. And Amara. She wasn't just a maid. She was the one who quietly cleaned the blood off broken glass after arguments, who left warm food on his tray even when he didn't ask, who still called him sir, with respect even when the world called him a criminal. That morning, Kelvin sat at the dining table, beard untrimmed, eyes hollow. He hadn't slept. He hadn't eaten. Then came the gentle knock. The door opened and Amara walked in, her tray in hand. Steam curled up from a teacup. She set it down gently in front of him. "You didn't eat yesterday," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm not in the mood for food," Kelvin muttered, without looking up. "Then maybe you're in the mood for company," she said quietly, pulling out the chair opposite him and sitting down, something no servant had ever dared. Kelvin raised his eyes in surprise. "You're bold today." "Maybe because I see a man who needs reminding that he's still worth something." Kelvin blinked. It had been days since anyone spoke to him like a human being. Reporters shouted, lawyers demanded, ex-friends ghosted him. Michelle had vanished. But Amara, she was still here. "Why are you really still here?" he asked, voice low. She met his gaze. "Because I know what it feels like to lose everything, and I know the kind of people who deserve a second chance." Kelvin's curiosity piqued. "You lost everything?" She nodded. "My father was a respected teacher. One day he was wrongly accused of theft. They fired him, dragged his name in the dirt, and he died ashamed. No one stood by us, not even neighbors. That's when I started working and watching." A silence stretched between them, heavy but not uncomfortable. "And what have you been watching?" he asked. "You," she replied. "A man who worked hard, who treated his workers with respect, who gave scholarships to kids like my younger brother. You're not perfect, but you don't deserve this." Kelvin leaned back, stunned. That evening, Amara returned again with dinner. Not just food, but hope. They talked for hours, about life, loss, and the fire of survival. For the first time since the downfall, Kelvin laughed. Not the rich man's laugh for show, but a real, cracked, human laugh. He didn't know it yet, but something had begun to change inside him. Not just the desire to fight back and clear his name, but the quiet realization that the most valuable woman he'd ever known didn't come in diamonds or designer gowns, but in a faded uniform, carrying tea with trembling hands, and a heart fierce enough to stay. And from the ashes of his fall, the first spark of love was lit.